Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second annual Golden Hour Film Podcast Awards. I'm joined by my co-host, not guest host, Shane Mulvaney. Shane, how are you feeling in what has to be the best episode in podcast history?
Yeah, looking really looking forward to tackling some of these because there's a lot of draws. We'll set off the bat. So I think me and you are gonna have to be tiebreakers in quite a few of these.
Massively, yes.
But uh, but yeah, obviously some amazing movies and some fun categories to delve into.
Yeah, we've 13 categories this year. Worth noting, this will probably go down as the year of the draw or the tie. Almost every award there is some level of draw. There is one award where you guys nominated a 7-way tie. Are you joking? We have 6 nominees, and somehow someone who technically has won isn't even getting nominated, which is insanity. Just crazy. We are going to start off with the slightly less prominent awards, and then we're going to work our way up to the stereotypical big ones, your best actors and actresses and directors and pictures, and then we finish off with the big two: best random side character and best episode of the podcast. The films that we are including in this that you all voted on were every episode of the Golden Hour Film Podcast of the year 2025. And yeah, some of these awards are brand new awards. Some of these awards may never happen again. But there's one that I think we should start with because it's actually an award that I want to make a last minute change to the name of this award. Because I think it's the only way that this award works going forward. And that award, Shane, is the award for Best Recurring Joke. As I said, this is award number 1 of 13, and I'll give you the nominees now. There's not going to be a graphic for this one, because how do you even make a graphic for recurring
Yeah.
jokes? But I will explain my slight tweak that I'd like to make after, and I'll see what you think, Shane. But the nominees, the 6 nominees for Best Recurring Joke are You Can't Trust Those Harrys. Whenever I say, is this film any use? And Shane's response is, it's actually a lot of use. Big Handsome Gary Cooper. My Obsession with Elisha Cook Jr. Leo G. Carroll. And I swear Gregory Peck is a good actor. Now, there was a clear winner of this award.
Yeah.
And drumroll, please. The winner of this award goes to My Obsession with Elisha Cook Jr. However, I would like to make a tweak to this award, Shane. I would like to call this some sort of either the Hall of Fame or Boy of the Year, and we give Elisha Cook Jr. the first position in this sort of Boy of the Year Hall of Fame style award. And every year we will nominate, our Boy of the Year, who might not necessarily be your Marlon Brando or your Humphrey Bogart, but is more of a podcast hero, so to speak. What do you think?
I'm up for that. Yeah, sounds good to me.
So, what do we have you a catchy name for it, or is Boy of the Year sufficeable,
How
or do we
about
just call it the Hall of Fame?
yeah, call it underseen, underappreciated, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm. Underrated Actor of the Year. How about that?
Yeah, nice and succinct.
Yeah, but it won't be necessarily for a specific role that they
No.
played. It'll just be over the year.
An
What if we
actor
call it
who
just
we want.
podcast actor of the year?
Yeah,
The actor
I'm up
who
with that.
contributed to the podcast the most, rather than the best performance. So, podcast actor of the year goes to Elisha Cook Jr. Congratulations, Elisha Cook Jr. You are my hero. And it won't be the last time we speak of him. Next up, I want to go for Best Arc. This was a first time award, and the 6 nominees are 007 Month, Noir November, The Classic Editions, Romance at the Movies, Academy Classics, and Yes We Can. And this one actually has a 100% winner again. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Romance at the Movies. This was our February arc that we did. It had Casablanca. It had Roman Holiday. It had Brief Encounter. And then we finish it off with Ball of Fire. Fair enough. I absolutely would not dispute that award win whatsoever. What about you, Shane?
Yeah, I think it was a fun month. A lot of rom-coms as well, which was fun to do, and it was, as I like to say, a change of pace for the podcast because I don't think we've done many romantic movies before. So yeah, it was nice to kind of stretch into a new kind of genre or a new kind of avenue that we hadn't been down before. And yeah, some of those movies are classics. Like Ball of Fire is just an absolute riot. So yeah, I'm up for that.
Well, speaking of Ball of Fire, Shane, why don't you take it away with the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award for Best Screenplay? Because I feel like Ball of Fire is going to be in and amongst the nominations there.
Absolutely, yeah. So the 6 nominees are Sunset Boulevard, which is written by Billy Wilder, Charles Brackett, and D.M. Marshman Jr. Ball of Fire, again written by Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett. Double nominees. Casablanca, behind me obviously here, directed by Julius J. Epstein, Philip G. Epstein, and Howard Koch. Cape Fear, which is written by James R. Webb. Citizen Kane, which is written by, of course, Orson Welles and Herman J. Mankiewicz. And Brief Encounter, which is written by Noel Coward.
And with Best Screenplay, we have a tie, Shane.
Very much have a tie, yeah.
Who is it?
So, get up here one second. So the tie, we have a 3-way tie between Casablanca, Ball of Fire, and Sunset Boulevard.
Nice.
So Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett have, I suppose, a 2 in 3 chance of coming away with this award.
Therefore, no, I'm just yeah, so as we did it last year, although last year there was not this many ties, this award will be decided by the Academy of myself and Shane. There are no ties, although we do like to reference the fact there was more votes this year than last year as well, more votes than ever. We broke our previous record. But yeah, shout out to the other 2 films that aren't necessarily going to win. I have a film that I would like to win this. I don't know. Do you, Shane?
If you do, I would like to win. Yeah.
Okay, I reckon we say it on 3, and we'll just see. We'll see if this works. 1, 2, 3. Ball of Fire.
Sunset Boulevard. Ooh.
Fuck.
Interesting.
Okay, so best of luck to you, Casablanca.
Great screenplay, to be fair. Great screenplay.
Yeah, literally, like technically won, but we gotta have a definitive winner here. Yeah. Shane, okay, I want you to plead the case of Sunset Boulevard.
I think it's the definitive movie about Hollywood. I can't really get any more succinct than that. I think Hollywood has never been as taken down and depicted in such a raw and real way as it is in Sunset Boulevard. I think it's had many imitators, but no one's ever done as good of a job. Mm-hmm. Ball of Fire, you know me, I love Ball of Fire. I've seen it twice. It's an amazing screenplay. I love it so much. It's absolutely hilarious. There's so many great plays on words and word plays and so many amazing jokes in there. But if we talk about like a totality of a screenplay, Norma Desmond, what a character. You know, William Holden's character, whose name is escaping me, just long COVID or something, I don't know. Amazing character. And then just again, like I said, the fact that it's such a takedown of Hollywood and the excess of Hollywood and the darker nature of Hollywood that can sometimes rear its head. I think from me it's Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, I think you've convinced me. I will plead Ball of Fire's case regardless, but yeah. I think Ball of Fire was one of the most fun and witty movies we've ever covered on the podcast. I think it is a mile-a-minute screenplay. I think writing a screenplay that actually works about a bunch of people who are making an encyclopedia and making that really fun and interesting,
Yeah.
and including gangsters in it, and having some of the funniest side characters of the year, as well as some of the funniest main characters of the year, as well as like some actual genuinely great dramatic performances, particularly Barbara Stanwyck, shout out. I think to make that work is a testament to the writing as well as direction. I think it is one of the best screenplays we've ever covered on the podcast. But for this one, I think Sunset Boulevard is a totally valid choice. Therefore, the winner of Best Screenplay 2025 goes to Charles Brackett, Billy Wilder, and that third guy. It's Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, there we are.
And next up, award number 4. And I reckon we go for another new award. And that is Best Podcast Debut. Now, we have excluded directors from this because there's... Well, I don't know. It just would have been a really long list if we included directors. We might include directors this year, but it would have been an abhorrently long list if you were to be able to pick directors as well as actors. And Evan for this. So, the 6 nominees are, in this incredibly serious awards show, Robert Mitchum for Out of the Past, Audrey Hepburn for Roman Holiday, Marlon Brando for On the Waterfront, Peter Sellers for Dr. Strangelove and How We... blah blah blah, Toshiro Mifune for Seven Samurai, and Evan Murphy, the literary correspondent, for Little Women. Look at that graphic. That is a beautiful graphic. And, yeah, would you believe, once again, we have a tie, lads. Yep. We have a two-way tie, which is slightly nicer. Though, I will shout out the three-way tie for second place between Robert Mitchum, Audrey Hepburn, and our literary correspondent, Evan Murphy. But it is a two-way tie between Marlon Brando for On the Waterfront and Peter Sellers for Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This is a real tricky one, Shane, because on one hand you have one of the greatest dramatic performances in Hollywood history, and on the other hand you have a guy who plays multiple characters in one of the greatest satires of all time. I think I know who I want to win this.
Yeah, so do I.
And again,
we'll try it again.
I reckon, yeah, we say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Peter Sellers.
Boom.
Great.
Yeah.
How easy was that? Yes, the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award for Best Podcast Debut goes to Peter Sellers for Dr. Strangelove. What an amazing bunch of performances he put in.
Yeah.
Literally plays
Absolutely
the titular
nice.
Dr. Strangelove. He was meant to play 4 characters in the movie, but he only played 3 in the end. But still, like, as you said, 2 very like Marlon Brando puts in literally one of the greatest dramatic performances in the history of Hollywood in On the Waterfront, according to like film canon. Like, that is what you are taught in school. It's one of the greatest ever. Whereas Peter Sellers, you can't say carries Dr. Strangelove, but like, he is... You honestly couldn't replace him in that film.
No, it's because he's so versatile and so... Like, each of his performances are funny in a different way. Like, it's not just like he's doing a variation on the same performance.
Yeah.
They're 3 very different performances, but they're all so funny in their own way. Like, he plays the British general, he plays the American president, and obviously, like you said, Dr. Strangelove, which is just one of the greatest comic creations of all time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And next up, I reckon we go back to Shane, who is going to give us the 6 nominees for the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award for Best Score or Soundtrack.
Absolutely. So the nominees are Cape Fear, which was scored by Bernard Herrmann, composed by Bernard Herrmann. Godzilla, composed by Akira Ifukube. Dr. No, which is composed by Monty Norman. Superman, which is of course scored, the soundtrack and score is from John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Casablanca from Max Steiner. And Umbrellas of Cherbourg by Michael Legrand. Obviously, there are some other kind of contributors in those movies when it comes to like the kind of soundtracks, but they are the kind of score composers. And we do have a clear winner in this. One of the clearest winners, actually.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is the
most
clearest.
Clear,
yeah. Now we're not talking. Last year, if you can all remember, for Best Supporting Actress, Judith Anderson annihilated the field.
Yeah.
It's not quite. It's not quite that level.
It's not as dominant
of
as
win.
that. No.
Yeah, not that. I don't think Judith Anderson will ever be. She got. It was like 66% of the votes or something insane. But yeah, not that dominant a win, but still the most dominant of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to shout second place, which is my secret kind of hope as to what we know now. It's a very worthy winner we have. John Williams and Superman came second. But the winner is, of course, Bernard Herrmann and Cape Fear, which is an amazing score. No getting around it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Incredible score. Just fills you with dread and atmosphere and doom and gloom and like just the real sense of malice running throughout that score that, again, is obviously aided by Robert Mitchum's performance, an incredible performance. But that score is a brilliant score. So, very worthy winner.
Yeah, one of the most iconic composers of
so.
old Hollywood, Bernard Herrmann, like absolute legend of the game. Shout out Bernard Herrmann. And next up, somehow we seem to only have the big ones left already. So I reckon we start getting into the
supporting actor and actress.
Yeah, we'll get into the supporting actors and actresses. So the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award nominees for Best Actress, Supporting Actress, I should say. Best Supporting Actress are Thelma Ritter for Rear Window, Eva Marie Saint for On the Waterfront, Kim Hunter for A Streetcar Named Desire, Jessica Tandy for The Birds, Claudia Cardinale for The Leopard, and Esther Minciotti for Marty. And Shane, would you believe we have a tie? Now, I would like to once again shout out the 3 performances that are tied for second place. No, I'm looking at the wrong word. There is a clear second place, I should say. I was looking at Best Lead Actress there, which has a 3-way tie for second place. But Best Supporting Actress, there is a singular woman who came second. So shout out to you, Kim Hunter. You are the best loser. But we have a 2-way tie for this award. And it's a pretty big 2-way tie. Like the two of them have taken up
half the votes.
Fair chunk of the votes. Yeah, they've taken up half the votes between them. Yeah. And that is Thelma Ritter for Rear Window and Eva Marie Saint for On the Waterfront. Shane, have you in your head who you think should win this? Who you want to win this?
I think they're both really strong performances, but yeah, I do have a preferred choice.
Yeah, same here. I think they, even though I predicted Esther Minciotti to win it, in hindsight, these are probably the 2 strongest performances. I was probably just going like sentimentality because I love Marty. But I think I have my choice for this as well. So will we do it again?
I think so, yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Thelma
Ritter.
Hooray!
That was easy.
And the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award for Best Lead... Nope, keep doing that. Best Supporting Actress. 2025 goes to Thelma Ritter for Rear Window. Yes, Rear Window, we've like probably 10 of like old Hollywood's most iconic films. Not the 10, but like 10 of the most iconic films from old Hollywood. Rear Window being one of them. And it's funny looking at all the nominations, trying to figure out where each one is going to pick up its win. Yeah. Because I think, unlike last year, which had like 2 films that like swept the entire thing, I don't think any film could possibly sweep the awards this year. I think it's going to be a very disperse selection of winners. But good to see Rear Window pick up a win. And shout out Thelma Ritter. I will never forget seeing her for the first time in Pick Up on South Street. She is so good in that film. But yeah, she is fantastic in Rear Window.
And best supporting actor.
Yes. So the nominees for the Golden Hour Film Podcast Award for Best Supporting Actor, and notably a much more like recent
Spread.
selection of nominees when it comes to like the decades of film we usually cover. The nominees are Takashi Shimura for Seven Samurai, Dustin Hoffman for Midnight Cowboy, Harold Sakata for Goldfinger, Gene Hackman for Superman, Claude Rains for Casablanca, and Orson Welles for Touch of Evil. So yeah, we've two 60s films and a 70s film and a 1958 film, which is, I think if you were to get the average year of release, that is definitely the award that has the most recent nominees.
Yeah.
Shane, can you believe it?
Another
We have a
tie.
tie. And once again, the tie takes up 50% of the votes. But again, I would like to shout out the two people who were tied for second place. That is Dustin Hoffman for Midnight Cowboy and Gene Hackman for Superman. Which means there is a two-way tie for Best Supporting Actor. Who are those two people, Shane?
They are Claude Rains for Casablanca and Orson Welles for Touch of Evil.
And a reminder for all of you at home that last year Claude Rains did take home Best Lead Actor. So we could be on for a historic win here. Shane, I've absolutely no idea which of these two I want to nominate.
I have one that I prefer, but I think it could be different than what you would want to happen. I love both performances. I really love both performances, but I do have one performance that I do prefer of the two.
Okay, well, I'll be honest. I am totally unsure here, so I want you to take it away to begin with anyway.
Right, okay. My preference, and this is just a preference, like, I mean, the movie's behind me.
Yeah.
First of all, I love both guys. I love Orson Welles and I love Claude Rains, but I just think Claude Rains is so underrated. He did win, obviously, the award last year for the Invisible Man, for best lead actor, like you said. But like more generally, among film fans, I don't think he really has the reputation that he should. I think he's such an amazing actor. But yeah, if we're talking about his performance alone, I just don't think Casablanca works. I've seen like a theory going around that he is like kind of the love story in Casablanca is really between him and Humphrey Bogart as opposed to between Humphrey Bogart.
Well, they have a very beautiful friendship.
They do, yeah. It's the beginning of a very beautiful friendship. Yeah, just, I mean, the character is a complete POS. Like, let's be honest, a complete piece of shit. But you still, it's a bit like, I suppose, the episode that we're going to get into this week on the podcast with James Cagney. He just has that kind of performance, that kind of persona that you just still root for him. Yeah, I love Claude Rains. Maybe I'm just being a little bit biased and let my bias cloud me here. Orson Welles is amazing, and that's a really, really evil character he's playing. So fair play to him for kind of going there in the first place. But just as a performance, I do prefer Claude Rains. What about you?
Yeah, I'm totally torn. Because one hand for me says that Orson Welles is like one of the most, in Touch of Evil, is one of the most dastardly, despicable villains we'll probably ever cover on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, just an absolutely horrendous person, and the performance is exceptional.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it is also our awards. And Claude Rains, although he is featured lightly on the podcast in 2025, was most certainly Boy of the Year 2024. I don't think there's any disputing that. We can't really retroactively award an award, but I think he was the guy on the podcast in 2024. Yeah, potentially just because Casablanca was so long ago. Like, we're talking nearly a year ago that we both last watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think that Claude Rains would be in this position, presented to us in this position. I didn't expect it. And not to say that he doesn't deserve it, I just didn't think it would happen.
I'll let you decide. I got Sunset Boulevard. I kind of convinced you there, so I'll hand you the reins. I'll give you the responsibility on this one. I'll let you pick the definitive winner on this one.
Well, there was an excellent choice of words, and I think you know what you did there, because Shane has decided to hand me the reins. Therefore, the winner will be Claude Rains, a historic win for the 2024 Best Lead Actor. 2025, he takes home Best Supporting Actor. Can he do the three-peat in 2026? We're going to have to watch some Claude Rains films. Adventures of Robin Hood is coming. Yes. Shout out to Claude Rains, absolute legend of the podcast. I remember a while ago we did a post on Instagram of like, what actor do you associate with the podcast? And he was someone's answer, which is a lovely thing to hear.
Yes.
Also shout out Peter Lorre, because he was a prominent answer as well.
Yeah.
Now it's time for two fascinating fields that we have here, kind of for different reasons. First of all, I have for you, Shane, Best Lead Actress, and the nominees for Best Lead Actress for the 2025 Golden Arrow Film Podcast Awards are Barbara Stanwyck for Ball of Fire, Audrey Hepburn for Roman Holiday, Corinne Marchand for Cleo from 5 to 7, Gloria Swanson for Sunset Boulevard, Ingrid Bergman for Casablanca, and Katharine Hepburn for Little Women. And with Best Lead Actress, we have two ties. We have two ties.
True.
We have a tie for second place, which is between Katharine Hepburn, Barbara Stanwyck, and Gloria Swanson. There goes my pick. And therefore, we have a two-way tie between two of the greatest actresses of all time. It's Ingrid Bergman and it's Audrey Hepburn. I think there is a clear winner here.
Yeah, same.
I reckon this is a 3-2-1 because I think we're probably going to both say the same one. 3, 2, 1. Audrey
Hepburn.
Hooray! And the Golden Arrow Film Podcast Award for Best Lead Actress goes to Audrey Hepburn for Roman Holiday. Absolutely incredible in that film. A fantastic film. February is sweeping the awards show, it feels like. No singular film is, but I feel like the month of February is dominating the awards this year. And next up, it is Best Lead Actor. And the nominees are... for Best Lead Actor. Yeah, as I said, we have a 7-way tie. What the fuck, lads?
How does that work?
So, technically, with 7 nominees, but I didn't put in the one person who I assume neither of us were going to pick. So, shout out to Zbigniew Cebulski for Ashes and Diamonds. You are also technically a nominee. But the nominees for Best Lead Actor are Orson Welles for Citizen Kane, Jimmy Stewart for Rear Window, Marlon Brando for On the Waterfront, James Dean for Rebel Without a Cause, Humphrey Bogart for Casablanca, and Ernest Borgnine for Marty. Shane, as I said, 7-way tie. I have taken the liberty of not nominating one of them because a decision has to be made.
Yeah.
I think the quickest way to do this is we're both going to eliminate a person each until we get to 2. And then we count down from 3.
Makes sense.
And we then plead the case for the final 2 standing. So Shane, I want you to eliminate one of the 6 now, because I've already eliminated poor Zbigniew.
I know this is blasphemy probably for like a lot of film fans. I'm going to eliminate James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh, God.
Great performance, but just
yes.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Well, I think I'm going to take probably the easy route here, if there was such a thing. Because I think as amazing as he is in it, I think his direction is probably better. I'm gonna eliminate Orson Welles for Citizen Kane. I think he directs that to death. It is one of the best directed movies ever. And I think his direction is definitely better than his performance, which is still amazing. But that is my justification for eliminating Orson Welles. So we're down to 4. So Shane, I want you to eliminate one more before we get to our final 2, because I'll also have to do the same.
Going to eliminate, even though I love the movie and I love the performance, I believe I won Best Picture and Best Actor actually at the Oscars. I love the performance and how different it is, but I'm going to eliminate Ernest Borgnine, even though I adore that performance and that actor.
Fuck.
Were you going to go for him, were you?
No, you've left me with Jimmy Stewart in Rear Window, Marlon Brando On the Waterfront, and Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. What an easy choice to eliminate one. What a simple choice that is. Christ. I was really hoping you weren't going to do Ernest, because as much as I love Marty, it's one of my favourite films we covered last year, it would have also been my choice for 4th place. So, I don't really have a logic for this. I am just going to pick one. Right. So, here's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with one of the greatest dramatic performances in history with Marlon Brando. We're dealing with, God love him, who just feels like he's going to forever be the bridesmaid of this award in Jimmy Stewart. And then you've Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca, which is literally Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca. Arguably the most iconic performance of a man in old Hollywood. So God love him. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. And he is now officially, by far, the person nominated for the most awards to have never won one. But it breaks my heart to eliminate Jimmy Stewart, and I feel sick saying that. 2026 will be his year. God damn it has to be. He needs to win an award in 2026. We will manipulate the podcast in such a way that he wins something. But
best Jimmy Stewart performance.
Yeah, he might end up just winning. We might just have to watch a load of Jimmy Stewart movies and give him podcast actor of the year, because it sickens me that he is a bridesmaid of these awards. But it leaves us with 2, Shane.
Yeah.
It leaves us with Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca and Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront. Again, what a simple decision to decide which one of those acting performances is better.
Will we go on 3?
Right. We'll go on 3. 3, 2, 1. Humphrey Bogart.
Brando.
Fuck. Oh, no. Oh.
Do you know what? I don't feel that strongly about it, so I'm willing to go with Humphrey.
Yeah, I just think it is the epitome of a man in an old Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it's like everyone knows. Look, to be fair, both performances are iconic, but I do think Brando and Casablanca is legendary.
I just think when you think old Hollywood, you think of Marlon Brando. No, fuck. Oh, this is tough. When you think of old Hollywood, you think of Humphrey Bogart sat in that diner, in that gin joint, looking all sad, with a cigarette in hand and a drink in the other, just moping. To me, that is old Hollywood. So for me, if you are happy to agree, the winner of Best Lead Actor 2025 goes to Humphrey Bogart for Casablanca.
I agree.
Now, finally, you have left us with one of these quote-unquote big awards with a definitive winner. Thank you. Best Director. The nominees are Orson Welles for Touch of Evil, Stanley Kubrick for Dr. Strangelove, Alfred Hitchcock for Rear Window, Orson Welles for Citizen Kane, Andre Vijay for Ashes and Diamonds, and Akira Kurosawa for Seven Samurai. 5-way tie, you sick individuals trying to almost elicit a second 7-way tie. A 5-way tie for second place, but there is a clear, distinct winner, and who is that, Shane?
That would be the man, the myth, the legend, Akira Kurosawa for Seven Samurai, and yeah, I'm happy with that.
Totally deserved. Absolutely, shout out Akira Kurosawa.
Monstrous directorial effort, really,
Yeah,
crazy.
like
really
you're talking a 3-hour samurai action epic.
3.5 hour.
Yeah, and it's one of the greatest films ever made. So
Yeah.
which leaves us with the lovely choice now of Best Picture. And the nominees are Citizen Kane, Rear Window, Sunset Boulevard, Casablanca, Seven Samurai, and Dr. Strangelove. And we have a 2-way tie for first. And that 2-way tie is between none other than Citizen Kane and Sunset Boulevard. And I don't want to be pandering, but I think it would be a bit of a sick joke if a certain film came out of these awards with a big fat 0 awards. So Shane, in the same way that I think you kind of, I don't want to say gave Sunset Boulevard best screenplay, but I would like to veto this award and finally award Citizen Kane with an award.
No, I agree, and that would have been my pick anyway, to be honest with you. So
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
I think it would be hilarious if we came out of this award ceremony with 0 awards for Citizen Kane.
Sorry, my battery's out of time.
Okay. Do you want to stick it back on charge for a few minutes?
No, sure, we'll keep going with audio if you want, because I have to head in like 5 minutes anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Shane's camera is gone for the rest of the awards, so I am just gonna render a picture of Shane in a tux for the awards, and he's gonna continue the awards show audio style. How's that sound? We are left with Best Episode. We are left with Best Random Side Character, and that is it. I reckon this year we get Best Random Side Character out of the way first. I think we did that last year as well, actually. Or was Best Random Side Character second last year?
That was second last
Yeah,
year.
actually, yeah, no. We'll leave Best Random Side Character to the end then. We'll go Best Episode. And the nominees for Best Episode of the Golden Hour Film Podcast are Episode number 69, Goldfinger. Episode number 81, Stranger on the Third Floor. Episode number 91, Little Women. Episode number 92, Batman from 1966. Episode number 37, Nosferatu. And episode number 51, Ashes and Diamonds. We have a 2-way tie, Shane, but I think there's a clear winner of the two. We have a 2-way tie between our first episode of the year, Nosferatu, which has miraculously been nominated for an award at the death here, and episode number 69, probably the most anticipated episode when we announced that arc.
Yeah.
Goldfinger. I think unless you have a particular affinity for episode 37, where we covered Nosferatu, I think it is safe to say there's a clear winner for this. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm 100%. Goldfingers would be my pick as well. 100%.
And the award for Best Episode of the Golden Hour Film Podcast 2025 goes to Goldfinger. And shout out to Oddjob for getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Never thought he would win, but I'm glad that some of you agreed that, you know, the fun performances deserve a nomination too. And lastly, it is the biggest award of the ceremony. and that is Best Random Side Character. Wow, do we have ties on ties on ties here. Again, similar to Best Lead Actor, we're going to have to crop out some people who are tied. But the nominees are Angelo from Scarface, Harry Jones from The Big Sleep, aka Elisha Cook Jr., the AK-47 Granny from Goldfinger, Quarrel from Dr. No, Otis from Superman, Pastrami and Asma from Ball of Fire. They are the 6 nominees. Shout out to Carl the Waiter from Casablanca and Kyuzo, the Japanese John Wick, for also being nominated quite prominently, but they didn't quite make the cut. And again, we have a 2-way tie. And again, I feel like this one is maybe a little easy to pick a winner for. How do you feel about this one, Shane?
Yeah, I think there's one performance from these two that I would be looking forward to seeing again, and then the other one is like a good performance, but like, yeah, less memorable, shall we say?
Yes, the two winners, the tied winners of the big award, best supporting goat, or best random side character, as we like to call it, are Harry Jones, aka Elisha Cook Jr., in The Big Sleep, and Angelo from Scarface. Bizarre that Pastrami and Asma are not in this conversation. I did not see that coming. Shout out to the random Bond characters in there too. Go on, Quarrel. Forgot about you. Legend. Shane, I'm curious to hear, because I do feel quite strongly about the winner of this award, but I'd like to know who you, and I'm torn here, if anything, but I'd like you to let me know who you think deserves the big award.
For me, and it's probably because I prefer the movie, I would go Harry Jones in The Big Sleep.
Elisha Cook Jr.
Yeah, Harry's boy, Elisha Cook Jr.
And see, here's the thing for me, is on one hand, I have the random side character who I cherry picked. I groomed for greatness in Angelo from Scarface. One of my favorite comedic performances of the year from a randomer. And on the other hand, we have the greatest actor in the history of the podcast in Elisha Cook Jr., who has already been nominated into our imaginary Hall of Fame as the official podcast actor of the year, 2025. And I just think it is so fitting that for 2 years in a row, a guy called Harry wins the big award. So I'm giving it, I'm agreeing with you, and I'm giving it to Harry Jones for The Big Sleep.
Yeah.
And that concludes the 2025 edition of the Golden Hour Film Podcast Awards, the best episode of the year, some would say. Shout out to the gluttony of films that took home awards this year. There's a list on Letterboxd of every film to ever win a Golden Hour Film Podcast Award that I have. I will pin that on my Letterboxd page, so you know it's a pretty mishmash of movies, shall we say. But yeah, that concludes the awards 2025. Make sure to check out this week's episode, The Public Enemy, and the rest of the original Gangsters Month, our first arc of 2026. And really do get thinking, because I feel like we had a crazy selection of films this year. So really do try and get us to cover films of that ilk for this year as well. So throw all your suggestions at us. Some of them will stick, and we will kind of throw them into whatever arcs we can, because, you know, we do not have a concrete plan for the year. We have February on lock, and that's about it. Shane, any parting words for the the viewers of the 2025, the second annual Golden Hour Film Podcast Awards?
Just that we have a lot of good stuff lined up, a lot of movies that we've been wanting to cover for a while, and yeah, we've got some fun arcs. So hopefully it's onwards and upwards, and build on last year and build on the year before that as well.
Yeah, we've a few milestones that we are probably going to hit this year just based on trajectory. That is obviously 100 episodes. That's coming in February, our 100th episode. We have 100,000 views on YouTube. We are about 15,000 away. So, you know, current trajectories suggest we will hit that this year. That would be amazing. And then, of course, not necessarily the big one, but like one that we've kind of quietly been eyeballing is obviously 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We did say if we hit that we would look at our own short films. We've both directed a short film each, so we said we would do a review of those two for a bit of a laugh on YouTube. We can do an audio version of that as well, possibly. We'll figure out the copyright of that, but yeah. So they are our big kind of goals for the year. We've talked about other previous goals on our last episode of 2025, which was our review of Batman from 1966. So if you want to hear more about that, go to the end of that episode. But in the meantime, this was the 2025 Golden Hour Film Podcast Awards. I've been Harry Bailey.
I have been Shane Maloney.
And we will see you all very, very shortly for more episodes of the Golden Hour Film Podcast this coming year. Goodbye.